Happy Breeders' Cup 2025. Post draw show was last night. It's going to give us plenty to talk about anywhere but the one hole.
And that remained through the night. This morning at 5 o'clock, and when we got here, 5:30, he still had a slight fever. He had had no medication at all. So we've drawn blood, and so we've taken blood samples, and we'll have the results. Part of the blood samples have come back, and part of the blood samples are pending. Since then, since 6 o'clock this morning, we gave him some medication to help with the fever, to help alleviate the fever, which his temperature is down to normal right now. He's eating everything. He looks fine. You saw him with his head out. He's eaten all his grain. He's not missed a note. He has not missed any feed all year long. I can say that. And last night and this morning was no exception.
Hello there. Welcome to Billy Ho's Sports. Like I said, I went through the entire post draw show this morning, got everything all lined out, and the Breeders' Cup Classic was a fun one. And we have odds to talk about, post position draws, and possible upside downside to where that lands. But do not forget, we are going to commence drawing split the pot prizes probably tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday at the very latest. I wanted to give everybody a chance to consume some of the newer content, get those comments in there. So if you want to be eligible to win, you have to be a subscriber. You have to hit that like button to support the channel. And you also need to leave a comment so I can get your name into the draw. So drop a comment. Tell me who you like this week in the Breeders' Cup Classic. And we'll start with Fierceness and the rail story. So Todd Pletcher obviously was interviewed. He talked about Fierceness coming out of the one hole in the Del Mar Pacific Classic, how much trouble he had. He almost went through the opening. There's a temporary rail, right, that runs alongside of the chute for the 1.25 miles. They ran it at the Pacific Classic. Well, he saw that opening out of the left hand of his eye and kind of went that way even before the rail ran out. So Johnny V smartly got a hold of him and steered him back in the right direction. Of course, we know what happened after that. Well, they added a few more feet. I don't know how many, but they extended that temporary rail out to where it doesn't, take their view away, I guess. And anyway, all-time jinx doesn't want the one hole. Fierceness draws the one hole. Same post he got in the Pacific Classic. We just did all that. Johnny V did a great job with him. He just outran journalism without much of an effort. He made a really good mid-race move. I think that's what he'll do this time around. Coming out of the one hole, he's got the 2 Baeza, the 3 Nevada Beach next to him. Neither one of them are going to be breaking out to the lead. Baeza breaks pretty fast, so I think that's the one issue. If Baeza does decide to break fast, then Johnny V needs to keep Fierceness from getting jammed in around that first turn. There's definitely more horses to contend with in this race. Number 3, Nevada Beach, is one that also drops back. And then you have the Pace Rabbit outside of them. So the Pace Rabbit's going to take off and they're going to let him go. I don't see any horse trying to chase them. These jockeys are too good not to fall for that banana in the tailpipe where they're going to try to get this horse out and run another 44 half mile. I don't think they're going to let that happen. So I think if Fierceness stays out of traffic, saves ground, he's already proven he could pass horses mid-race. He makes a good mid-race move. He'll get his shot. And now Baeza 15-1 morning line. By the way, 4-1 morning line on the Pletcher horse. Baeza 15-1 from post 2. Could get tucked in early. Avoid the rub that might come out of the deeper draws and definitely not getting caught wide, but might be sitting in a comfortable stalking position if the pace is honest. I think he can hang in there, but he definitely if you think he ran with sovereignty in the Jim Dandy, you're mistaken. Just go back and look at the Florida Derby. Sovereignty wasn't fully cranked for that one because they were aiming at the Kentucky Derby. This is just my own opinion, but Jim Dandy not fully cranked, aiming at the Travers. So he wasn't fully cranked, and he beat Baeza. Now, he was beaten by the other horse. I forget who it was in the Florida Derby, but it's been a long time since then. And Mott was eyeing the Travers all along, like I said. So he's not, he might be first out, maybe underneath Exotic Supers, trifectas and such. But number three, Nevada Beach, 20-1. That's the improving colt that you could throw in a try or a super, I think. But I think being a Bob Baffert horse, he's probably going to get bet down to lower than 20. You might even see like 7 or 8 to 1 on him by the time the race goes off. I don't think that's too awfully bad. We'll see how it shakes out. I'm not very good at predicting odds for post time, but lightly raced. I think he's training well. He's bred to get that 1.25 mile distance, but I don't see him out dueling like Sovereignty in the stretch. Not seasoned enough to handle the top. But I think maybe if he does run one of those races where he's stepping up to the next level, he can hit the board. Contrary thinking, should be 500 to 1. F this guy. I don't want to talk about him. He's just going to go out to the front and try to set the pace. That's pretty much it. He'll finish DFL. Number five, Forever Young, 6-1. Landing in post number five. Perfect spot for Del Mar. If you recall, he ran fourth last year, but he drew the rail. He got forced into a hot early pace. He had to expend quite a bit of energy getting down that stretch. That's one thing you got to do out of the one hole is before you get to that first turn when all the other horses are converging to not get caught wide, you don't want to get boxed in and trapped in that one hole. And that's what they had to do with him last year in the 44 and change half mile. But from post five, he's not going to need to rush that much. He can break cleanly. I think settle into a stalking rhythm and unleash his late kick, like we've seen him do back home in Japan and in Dubai. Obviously at Kentucky or at Churchill Downs last year too. But I think the draw gives him a serious chance in this race. If it weren't for Sovereignty, I might pick him to win the race. I mentioned that in a previous video for the Japanese contenders. Check out that Japanese contender video. You might actually get some insights onto some of these runners coming over. I did a little bit of research for you on that one. Also, I did a separate video on the Euros. Which one? But it's you can look for the ones that are trained by Aiden O'Brien, Charlie Appleby, and those lot, and they're all going to be like 8-5. So I don't know how much value you're going to get, but you're going to get some prices on these Japanese horses. So, and Forever Young's going to start off at 6-1, could hover around that point, 6-1, because I think journalism's going to take more money than people think. Sovereignty was installed as the 6-5 favorite. That's going to be bet down. I don't know how big it's going to go, but the post six is just the ideal draw for him. Mott already said he can break. Junior can survey the situation, see who's breaking from the inside, see who's breaking from the outside, file in order where he wants to go, and just pick his spot, save ground around the turn, and then wait for his move like he does in every race. He's shown more tactical speed. He's been closer to the pace in his last several races, so he's not going to let these horses get away from him and then trying to be making up 10 lengths down the stretch. He's going to be sitting on your butt right before right when they hit the stretch. He's going to be eyeballing you. So maturing with each start. Junior's definitely got him. He's perfect launching spot. The horse is peaking. Just a little inside info on Sovereignty when I've been watching the morning shows. He's grown up and gotten so powerful over the last couple of months that Mott has to use a bigger exercise rider when he gallops him because you don't want the horse dictating the work and working too fast. You want to be able to control him like he had the bigger guy riding in the work the other day. He went 49 and change. Mott said, I want 4 and 49. That's what we want to do. And if you err on a little bit over, and he did it perfectly, effortlessly, just the way he's just so majestic, barring any craziness, he's your winner. Spoiler alert. So number 7, Sierra Leone, last year's champion, 8-1 morning line. He's going to look to chase look for his rabbit to set him up so he can knock him down in the stretch run. But I've already been in the camp that I don't think that they're going to fall for it. Now, if they do, he's definitely got a shot. I think he's got a shot regardless because he was really, really moving up. Pratt made a nice late move before. He didn't start the rally till they hit the stretch. He was moving on them, and he was pretty close. He was already engaging Fierceness once they hit the straightaway. So if he could pull that off again, but I don't think if it's a 45 and change, 46 half, I don't think he's going to get there. And that's kind of how I feel the pace is going to play out. I just don't see him going 44 and change half mile again this year. Fierceness is not going to do it, breaking from the one hole. So, more fun facts. Del Mar, since they reinstalled dirt 10 years ago, 15 10 furlong races, the mile and a quarter, 14 won by more forwardly placed horses. Sierra Leone last year, the lone exception. So unless they go ballistic early again, that deep closer setup's probably not going to repeat. But I don't mind using him in exotics. I think we'll get to that in a little bit, so stick around. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button and smashing that like button. Help support the channel. Let's get these subscribers up. I'd love to hit 4,500. We're almost there. So let's go into number 8, which is Mind Frame. This one I would really, if he'd have got that Jockey Club race in, I'd make sure he's a really in an interesting play. He'd be in there 10-1. He might be less though if he wins the Jockey Club, but he's still a seasoned runner, but just not a lot of that classic distance. I wanted to see if he could get that mile and a quarter. Lost to Dornoch in the Belmont, which Dornoch was a really good horse. He had to be retired early. I can kind of compare him to Mystic Dan a little bit. I don't know if he's a little better or not, but you can see how good Mystic Dan has he's reclaimed his glory, so to speak. But Mindframe is definitely a talent. He's going to need a perfectly timed ride. I think the fact that he didn't have a true race and he hasn't had one since June is going to hamper him. They decided to train him up to the race rather than run him again. I don't know if it's going to work out, but if it does, I guess I'll be like, congratulations. But I can't go there for the win. Definitely, I might use a little underneath play. Number 9, journalism, 10-1. Getting a new pilot and Jose Ortiz. Normally, I'd say jockey upgrade. He flew in from Lexington to jump on his new mount for the final work of the week. You know me, if you watched me, I was critical of Rispoli going all the way back to the Preakness, how he handled the horse, how he almost got him beat. Even before that, actually, he got him in a little bit of trouble in the Santa Anita Derby. If you go back and watch that replay, he did a lot of shenanigans and jacking around then too. So if you were gonna make a change, you probably should have done it after the Kentucky Derby, or maybe after the Belmont or after the Triple Crown, for to get a couple of races before the Breeders' Cup. Why would you wait to the week before the Super Bowl to switch quarterbacks? Don't know. He hasn't been able to beat Sovereignty. He couldn't beat Fierceness. I don't think that Jose aboard is going to change anything. But if he can get to know this horse, and Jose is as good as anybody, obviously in the world right now. Now round out the field with Antiquarian, 15-1. Avoided that mess in the Jockey Club Gold Cup. He still ran a quality race. He deserved to win. He turned the tables on Phileas Fogg, who's not near this level. I think that's what my fear is. This one's still just a few rungs below the best, even though he can compete versus the best, doesn't make you a winner. So I don't think that he's going to make it on any exotics. Maybe at the very bottom, I would use him on like supers and tries, but that's about it. He could pick up the pieces late. Obviously, he's a big bully who grinds it out down the stretch. So if there is some kind of pace meltdown, he might be able to get there. But that's your classic field. I have a real good idea on how the race is going to shake out. All in on Sovereignty, I think, as are many. I do like Forever Young next below that. I think he looks really good, especially got a good post draw. And if anything happens to Sovereignty, he could be the first up to upset. Now, Forever Young, watching him break from the rail and having to run all out like that, I think that Fierceness is going to have to go hard early, and that's going to expend more energy. Even if they don't go 44 and change like they did last year, I think he's going to burn up more energy than he did last year in the opening quarter. Can't say for sure how that'll shake out, but if they can control the pace and get in the mid 45s for the half, he might be able to pull it off with another similar move that he made in the Pacific, where he didn't play around. He got back into position and then he just saw the opening and he went for it. So if he does do that and like takes command at the race at the half mile marker or something like that, he could be hard to catch if the pace is right. Because I think he's older. He was just 3 years old last year and he didn't quite hang on. He ran hard and he it's not like he quit. He just got passed up. So I think if he has any trip trouble, he's not going to hit the board. So basically, I'm going all in for the win on Sovereignty. I like Forever Young next underneath with Fierceness. Maybe trifectas with 3 Sierra Leone. I might use Journalism. I don't know just yet. He's going to be on your screen, but I also think the value adds can be Nevada Beach, the 8 horse, and the 2 Baeza. I think Baeza can probably still run a big race if he gets the right trip. But that's all I have for you. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel. Going to be lots more content to come. We've got the distaff coming up next. That's going to be out probably first thing tomorrow morning. So subscribe to the channel, smash that like on your way out, leave a comment below, and we will see you soon.